This is the Roulette Master, and I am so excited to reveal to you today the incredible new Win $200 a Day roulette system by Tracy. He already introduced us to the Win $400 a Day system that you guys absolutely love, and this one's a little bit different and has a half the bankroll, and I cannot wait to share it with you. And today we're going to put his incredible new system up against 5 double streets in the head-to-head matchup. I'm going to share with you how I'm playing 5 double streets a little bit different now, and we'll get started with that first. This is going to be a great matchup and a lot of fun. Let's place the bets, and we're going to start with $10 on 5 double streets, and here we go. And that's a $50 bet. You can see we have a 0 balance. Let's go ahead and spin with 5 double streets, and here we go. That's a 35 black. And we lost right out of the gate. So one thing we're going to do with this one is we're going to go from 10 to 30 when we lose. Starting out anyway, and here we go. Okay, and let's go ahead and spin again here. And let's see what we get. That's a 19 red. Okay, we got the win. We're going to stay at this same bet amount. And we're just going to rebet and spin. We're going to try to get 2 wins at this amount after going up from 10 to 30. And here we go. That's a $30 win. We're up 10 now. We're going to go back to base level. So we're going to go back to 50 and spin. And then once we have more losses, I'll share with you what to do next. And here we go. That's a 7 red. Okay, we got a win. We'll get lots of wins with this, though, because we do have 5 double streets. That's 30 total numbers covered. We're up $20, and you can expect to get a lot of wins. You know, you can sometimes get 10, 20 wins in a row. You never know with this many numbers covered, but you can also have some losses like we just had again. So that's very rare to start with 2 losses in such a close proximity, but that's okay. That's why we have the progression that we're using and the bankroll that we're using, which we'll talk about. We're going to go from 10 to 30. And just like we've had really bad luck starting out, you can have unbelievably good luck with this system and get so many wins in a row. We won there. We're going to stay at this exact same bet, and we're going to try to get 2 wins. And here we go. That's a 9 red. That's another win. We're currently up $30, and we're going to go back to 50 where we started. Let's put those back out there and spin. This is 5 double streets, and here we go. That's a 21 red, and that's a win. Let's see how many wins we can get in a row without losing here, and then we'll get to the rest of the recovery process. We're up $40. Okay, let's rebet and spin and see how much we can win here, how many times we can win in a row with 5 double streets, and that's a 29 black. And we started out with such poor luck, I bet we win a bunch of them in a row now. We're up 50. But you never really know when good or bad times are going to come. That's why you need bankroll, which I will go over here in a minute, and the progression, which is super important. We're up 60 now, so let's just rebet and spin, and we're at base level $50, 10 on each of 5 double streets. That's 30 numbers covered, and that's a 24 black. Okay, now we're on a roll. We're up $70. Let's just rebet and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 13 black. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up 80. Let's just rebet and spin. And let's see how many wins we can get in a row. And I'm super excited about Tracy's new system. Everybody seems to love his Win $400 a Day system. This is Win $200 a Day coming up. And it's a little bit different way of betting, but there are some similarities. And I can't wait to share that with you here pretty soon. That's a 26 black. And that's a $10 win. We're up 100. All right, let's rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 3 red, and we lost. Okay, so we're going to go from 10 to 30. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's spin and try to get our 2 wins here. If we have more losses, I'll share with you what to do next. And if we don't get to that level, I'll share with you anyway. It's super important. So let's rebet and spin. And I've changed the way I play 5 double streets a few different times. And this one seems to be working the best for me right now. That's a 19 red. Okay, that's a win. We're up $110. We go back to 50. And let's spin. Okay, here we go. That's a 1 red. Okay, we lost. And so we're going to go ahead and go from 10 to 30 again. And it can happen where you go from 10 to 30 and then you lose again right away. But it's not normal. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. And when that happens, and we'll see if it happens here. But if not, I'll share with you what to do next. That's a 25 red. Okay, that's a win. We're going to try to get 2 of those. So let's go ahead and get our 2 wins and then go back to 50. Or if we lose again, I'll show you the next step. That's a 14 red. We won, but we'll get to it either way. And now we're up 120. We'll drop back to 50, which is our base level because we have 5 double streets at 10 each starting out. And that's a 12 red. All right, let's see how many we can win in a row here. We're up 130. Let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 22 black. That's a win. We're up $140. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this new win $200 a day system. The levels of the bets are different, but he says it still is unbelievable. So I believe him because the win $400 a day system has gotten so much praise, and I really appreciate you guys sharing your results on that one. That's a 32 red, and that's a $10 win. We're up 160. All right, let's spin again. Here we go. That's a 24 black. Okay, we're up $170. Let's go ahead and spin again. That's what's so wonderful about everyone in this community is that there's so many people sending systems in that, you know, every day is not going to be the absolute best, but with this many great roulette players sending their systems in, you're going to get some amazing ones. And that's what's really fun is the search for the best. And that's a 16 red. And that's what we do every day on this channel. And we're up 190. Let's rebet and spin. And that's why sometimes there's some that aren't the best, but that's how we find the best. And we try all of them and that you guys send in. And we're up 200. Let's rebet and spin. And if I haven't done your system yet, the reason why is because I probably get 100 emails a day. I have to choose one of those, and sometimes they get lost in the mix because there's so many emails. We're up 210. So if I haven't responded to you, just resend it. And then you'll have a better chance of me doing it because I just have so many emails in that inbox. So we're up $220, and let's rebet and spin. All right, here we go. But I think it's amazing that there's so many that get sent in every day. That's incredible. And that's what makes it so much fun. And we're up $230. And let's spin again. So again, if I haven't done yours, it doesn't mean I'm trying to avoid you. It just means that I might have just had so many that day that it got overlooked, and then I lost track of it. So just resubmit it, and I will look at it again. And here we go. That's a 24 black. Another win. We're up 250. All right, let's rebet and spin. Here we go. That's a 28 black. Okay, and we're up 260. Let's rebet and spin. The only other ones, the ones I don't necessarily do all the time, are the ones where you're sitting out a lot. I get a lot of requests for those ones, but a lot of times the viewers don't, and I totally understand why you guys don't want to, have to sit out on spins. A lot of those ones where you have to sit out on spins, or I don't do those ones first because I know that people don't like to just watch you wait for triggers all day long. And we're up $280. Although with that being said, I definitely have some systems I use that use triggers, but they're ones that where you're not waiting around all day. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up $290. Let's rebet and spin. And then if we don't get any more losses on this one, I'll share with you the next step of what I've been doing with this one coming up here. And this is a $2,000 bankroll system. You can also play this with a $200 bankroll in dollar units. And we're up $300 already. So let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a $10 win. We're up $310. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 20 black. and that's a $10 win. We're at $320. Let's go ahead and spin again. And the other systems that I don't always choose first usually are the ones where there's a lot of numbers selected, and with each spin they have to be changed. Those can be really good systems, but they're not always the best ones for demonstrating because you spend so much time having to place the bets. So, but I keep sending them in either way. I love seeing them because, again, I use some of the ones with triggers, but we're up $340. Let's go ahead and spin. For instance, the original Play Like a Pro system, I still use it where you wait for 2 before you get started in a progression. That's a $10 win. We're up $350. And one thing I've been using that on at my casino is we have a automated machine that starts with $3 bets and has a $5,000 maximum bet. And we're up $360. Let's rebet and spin. And by waiting for 2 before you get started, a lot of times with a $5,000 maximum bet and a $3 starting bet, I can have 14 or 15 in a row of a color before busting. So that's where I use that one is when I can find a way to start with a small bet and have a huge maximum bet. And you need the bankroll for it, which is the real key. And we're up $380. And again, this is a $2,000 bankroll system, but you can play this with dollar units and a $200 bankroll. So for instance, if you wanted to do it with $3, like on those ones where it's a $3 minimum, you just take that times 3. That's $600 bankroll. Okay, we're up $390. Let's go ahead and spin. And it doesn't look like, we still might get more losses, but I'll just share with you what I do here in a second. That's a 7 red. We'll go a couple more here first and make sure we don't have those losses. It's always best if I can show you in real time, but it's real simple, and that's a 3 red. Okay, maybe it'll happen here. We have a loss. So let's go from 10 to 30. And there we go. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Let's see what we get. We're going to try to get 2 wins. If we don't get 2 wins, though, I'll share with you what to do next. But either way, I'll share with you now because we're getting close to the end of this one. And let's go ahead and spin. So you saw we went it from 10 to 30, and then we try to get 2 wins. If you don't get the 2 wins, then you triple the bet again and try to get 2 more wins. And if you get those 2 wins and you're not in session profit or close to, and we're at 410 now, let's go ahead and spin again. Then what we do is you stay at that bet amount and try to get 1 more win. That's a 17 black. Okay, that's a $30 win. We're at $440. Let's go back to 50 and spin. But you can really get a lot of wins in a row with this one. So yeah, just triple the bet again, try to get your 2 wins, and then evaluate how far you are away from session profit if you're not, and then try to get 1 more if you need to. But if you don't need to, try to stay at base level. That's what I do. And when you're up a ton, it's okay to take a little bit of a loss. For instance, and well, let's look right here because that's a loss. We're at $400. We're going to go from 10 to 30. And this is how I play it, is where for instance, if we were up $500 and I recovered, but I was still down $80, I would just take that $80 loss and restart because you're going to get so many wins in a row. We're up 430. We'll try to get a second win here, but I start going into once I get up a good amount, I start going into protective mode and make sure I don't lose what I've already won. And we're at 460. Let's drop back to 50. And the best way to do that is, to reset even if you're not in session profit, if it's within reason, because you're still up a ton. And that brings us to the next point. We're at $470. And, Sonny will tell you this as well, is, any money won, even if it's less than what you were up, is still a win. And you can still declare victory over the casino. So we're at 480. Let's try to get to 500 as we close it out 5 double streets. And I can't wait to get to that new win $200 a day roulette system with half the bankroll of the $400 a day system, but a little bit different betting. And we're at 490. Let's try to get to 500. And this will be our last spin here with 5 double streets. But we have a lot more coming your way. Okay, so after 15 minutes, we made $500 profit. with 5 double streets. This is a great way to play. I realize that on automated machines, a lot of times you can't do this. I play with Live Dealer a lot, and or if you play online, you can use this as well, but it's a really good way to play. And hope you enjoyed that. And now it is time for the new roulette system of the day, the Win $200 a Day roulette system by Chip Tracy. I can't wait for this. Let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Win $200 a Day roulette system by Chip Tracy. Before we get started, I'm going to share with you the bets for the $400 a day system. We're not going to play that one today, but I want to show you the differences between this one and that one. So the original system that he submitted is $25 on black, $25 on even, $5 on 000, and then $1 on all the red numbers that are even. So just like this is what it looks like, and that's a $63 total bet. And you can see the same amount is on even and black. The Win $200 a Day system is not going to have the same amount on even and black, but there are some similarities. Let's go ahead and place the bets for the Win $200 a Day system. We're going to have $2 on 000 and $2 on all of these numbers up here that are even and red. So let's do that. Okay, and then we're going to have a different amount on black and even. We're going to have $5 on even, and then we're going to have $15 on black. Okay, that's a $38 total bet. And you see we have a zero balance. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go with the $200 a day, Win $200 a Day roulette system by Chip Tracy. And that's a 5 red. And we started out with a $38 loss. So we're going to increase all these bets by what they started with. So the 15 on black goes to 30, the 5 on even goes to 10, and the $2 bets go to 4. Okay, so you can see we're minus $38. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 33 black. Okay, that's a $16 loss. With his systems, if you have partial losses, you never increase. So we're going to leave the bet the same here at $76 with the Win $200 a Day roulette system, and that's an 8 black. Okay, that's a $4 win there. So let's go ahead and just rebet and spin. We're not in session profit. So let's go ahead and spin here, and let's see what we get. That's a 27 red. Okay, and that's a $76 loss. So that's a total loss. We increase everything by what we started with. So we go up by 15 on black, 5 on even, and then we go up $2 on all these other bets. So let's do that. Okay, so we're not starting out great, but that's okay. It's early. And we're at $114 total bet now. And here we go. We need some black numbers, though. That's a 23 red. So not a good start at all. So you can see we're minus 240. Let's go ahead and increase those by what we started with again. So $2 on all of these. And then we'll increase these ones by what they started with, 5, and then 15. Okay, now we're at 152 total bet. And let's get a win. That's a 26 black. Okay, that's an $8 win there. So we're at minus 232 though. Let's go ahead and spin again here, and let's see what we get. Okay, we're at 152. That's a 36 red. Okay, that's a $176 win there. Wow, so we're minus 56. So we hit the even, and we hit the bet that's on the individual numbers there, which is makes this system a lot different than the other one. But we're not in session profit. So wait a second, I accidentally took one away there. I think it came from right there. There it went. So let's go ahead and spin. And I know it's very different than the other one because with black even numbers on the other one, it was doing fantastic. This one does amazing when you hit those numbers right there. So now we're up $120. Okay, I was getting worried there for a second. But let's go back to where we started. Let's just put the bets back out again so you can see. And I'm still trying to figure this one out too because it's very different than the Win $400 a day system based on the numbers that win. But we're doing amazing. We're up to $120. So let's trust the process. We'll put 15 on black, 5 on even, and then we'll have $2 on 000. and then $2 on all of these numbers. So the win $400 a day system really won big with black and even. This one wins big when you hit the even red numbers. So now we're at a $38 bet where we started, and let's go ahead and spend. All right, let's see what we get here. Back to base level. That's a 32 red, and that's a $44 win. So wow, we're up 164, and we'll just rebet and spin. So the black even numbers are still wins, but they're smaller wins. The black red numbers with this system are the ones that really pay. And that's a $38 loss, so we increase by what we started with. So the 15 goes to 30, the 5 goes to 10, and the 2s go to 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that and spin. And on the first one, you can hit the double button because you're just going up this, you're basically leveling up, but you can do it one time. Okay, that's a $16 loss. Again, with all Chip Tracy's systems, you do not increase on partial losses. So let's roll with this and see what we get here. That's a 26 black. That should be a win. That's a $4 win. Okay, we're up 114. We just have to get used to the fact, if you've seen the other system, that the black even numbers are not going to be the big wins. The big wins are going to be the red evens. And look at that, $88 win. We're in new session profit at 202. So we're going back to where we started, back at $38. And let's go ahead and spin, which again is 15 on black and 5 on even, and 2 on the 000, and then 2 on all those red numbers there. So let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. That's a 3 red. Okay, that's a $38 loss. So we're going to increase by what we started with. Everything goes up, the 15 to 30 again, the 5 to 10, and the 2s to 4. That's a 2 black. Okay, that's a $4 win. We're up 168. Okay, let's just rebet and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 13 black. Okay, that's a $16 loss. We're at 152 profit. We do not increase on those partial losses. So here we go. With the win $200 a day roulette system, and there's a 00. That's the first one of those we've had. And that's a $4 loss because that's a hedge bet. So we're just going to, we're going to go ahead and you can see we're up 148 right now. That was not a full loss, so we do not increase. So that hedge bet just has a small loss. That doesn't hurt us any. And that's a 5 red. Okay, that's a $76 loss there. So since that is a full loss, we're going to increase all of these by what they started with, which is $2 right here on these ones. $2 there, and then we're going to increase the even by 5, increase the black by 15. That gives us a 114 total bet. And let's see if we can get some more of those red even numbers. That's a 31 black there, though. So that's a partial loss because we have that $15 bet on black. That's what helps protect us there, but we just keep the bet the same. We're not going to increase when we have those partial losses. And that's a 14 red. Look at that, $132 win. We're back up 180, and we're not quite in session profit, but he says to go ahead, if you're close, to go ahead and reset. So let's do that. And here we go. Let's go back to base level, which again is 5 on even, 15 on black, and then 2 on 000, and then 2 on all the even red numbers. Okay, we're at $38 total bet now. And his win $400 a day system, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It wins big when you hit the black even numbers. And that's a $38 loss. We're going to increase by what we started with. Now we're at $76 total bet. And that's a 29 black. And it's really nice that that $15 bet on black keeps the numbers that are not good hits, that are losses, to a minimum. So we're just going to keep the bet at 76. That makes for, that definitely keeps you from losing a lot on those ones. That's a 27 red, and those are the ones you don't want. That's a total loss. So we're going to increase by what we started with. We'll start with these ones that had 2, and we're going to add 2 to each of them. And then we're going to add the 5 to the even and the 15 to the black. We're at 114 total bet now with the win $200 a day roulette system by Chip Tracy, and that's an 18 red. That's a $132 win. Now we're back up $182, and so you can stay at this level, but he says you should reset if you're anywhere near session profit. So let's reset again, and let's just take this back to 38 where we started. And again, that's 15 on black, 5 on even, 2 on all the other bets, and here we go. All right, let's see if we can get up over $200, and that's a 34 red. That's a nice $44 win. Now we've won our $200 a day. We're up 226. So obviously, if we hadn't reduced the bets, that would have been a huge win. But protecting the bankroll is his number one goal, and that's a $2 win there. We're up 228. So let's just rebet and spin. And here we go. So yeah, Chip Tracy likes to protect the bankroll, and that's another $44 win. We're up $272 now. Okay, and we're still at base level, which is fantastic. That helps us protect the bankroll. He said we could do this one with half the bankroll as the other one, so you could do this with a $1,000 bankroll, but we're using a $2,000 a day just because that's what the other system used. But he says you don't need it. But as you guys well know, the more bankroll you have, it always gives you the best chance of recovery. But never gamble with any more than you can afford to lose. That's a $44 win there. We're up $318. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. It took me a little bit to get used to this one because, again, the numbers that win you the money with this system are very different than the win $400 a day system. But the bets are similar, but they have different amounts on them. That's why. So that's a 5 red. That's not a good one. That's a total loss. So we'll increase by the amount that they started with. And again, that allows you to hit the double button just one time because it's the same thing. And that's a 19 red. But then after that, you need to add them in individually. And that's another bad one there. So we'll increase by 5 on even, increase by 15 on black, and then $2 on each of these, which brings them all to 6. And the reason those pay so much is because it's just one number covered. And you have the money that's on even also. So if you hit that red even, it really pays. Look at that. That's an 18 red. $137 win. We're up $333. We're going back to 38 where we started. And let's spin. So let's see how we do the last few minutes here. This is going really well right now, and that's another good one, 30 red. That's a $44 win. We're up $377. Okay, especially after a rough start there, this is incredible. That's a 2 black. That's a small win. We'll take it. And we're up $379. All right, here we go again. It's very different because I'm used to, with his $400 a day system, getting the huge wins on black even. And now I'm rooting for red even. And that's a small loss, so we don't increase. We're up $371. And that's so important with this system that you don't increase on those partial losses. That's what helps protect your bankroll. And that's an $8 loss. That won't hurt us hardly any. And that's why he puts that $15 on black, so that if you hit the black numbers, you're not going to really get hurt that bad. And that's a 35. That's an $8 loss. See, that won't hurt us much. We're still up $355. We're just basically patiently waiting for some more red even numbers. And with those small partial losses, it's easier to do that. And just as I say that, we have a full loss. So let's increase by the amount that they started with. And here we go. That's a 22 black. That's just a small loss. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a win. That's a $4 win. Okay, it's the black odd numbers that are small losses. The black even numbers are small wins. So let's keep the bet the same here and spin. And that's another small win. We'll take it. Okay, it's a $4 win, but we're up $325. So the potential for really big wins is here. They're just the red even numbers. And that's a red 21. That's a bad one. That's a $76 loss. And we're going to increase by what we started with again. So 2 on all the $2 bets. Okay, so basically those just increased by what we started with. And then we increase the $5 bet by 5, and we increase the $15 bet that we started with by 15. That makes it real simple. And here we go with the Win $200 roulette system by Chip Tracy, and that's a 19 red. That's not what we want to see. So we're going to increase those again, and that dropped us to 130 profit. So let's hang in there, use our bankroll to our advantage, and we're going to increase this by 5, that by 15, and then all these by 2. Real simple. Just increase them each time you have a total loss by the amount that they started with, and it makes it so easy to remember, which I really like. And here we go. That's a 0. That'll be a small loss. And that's a $13 loss. That won't hurt us. Let's just rebet and spin. And we're just patiently waiting, using our $1,000 bankroll to wait for a red even. And there it is, 34 red. That's what we want to see. It's a $171 win. We're up 288, and even though we're not up as much as we were before, he says to restart. And let's do that. So you want to protect that bankroll. So we'll put the $2 here, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And then 2, 2, not 3. All these have $2 bets. And then remember, we have 5 starting on even and 15 on black. And I just realized we ran out of time just now. So after 15 minutes, with the Win $200 a day roulette system, we made $288 profit. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you like the $400 a day system better or this one better. And would love to hear from you. And I really appreciate all the praise that you guys gave Chip Tracy over that one. And I know not everybody's going to love every system, but a lot of people really love that one. So I think that's fantastic. If you want to send a system in like he did, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And now it is time for a system that's really trending on YouTube right now. That's doing fantastic. If you want to stick around and watch another video, it's coming up next. And here we go.
This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible new Golden Splits roulette system by John. He said this will blow your mind. It is incredible. And today we're going to put his system against a fantastic roulette system. We're going to put this up against 9th Street Roulette with smaller bets, and I'm going to show you how to use this. And if you place larger bets, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with 9 streets at $1 each. And let me fix that one there, and we'll add the rest of them in. Here we go. And you can see now we have 9 streets. Let's go ahead and spin. And once we get done with 9th Street Roulette, we'll start with the new Golden Splits by John. And that's a win right there of $3. And we can see we're up 3. We're just going to rebet and spin when we get a win. And then I'll show you what to do with losses. This is a fantastic roulette system. And that's a 2 black. That's a loss. So we're going to go ahead and double that bet from 9 to 18. So now we have $2 on each instead of 1. And if you're looking for a system that can really make you a lot of money in the casino, this is definitely one to do that. But we're starting out with some losses, so we're going to double again. We're going to be at $36 instead of 18 now. And here we go. Okay, that's a 21 red. There's a win, and you can see we're still minus 12. So we need to get another win here. And then we'll get to making some profit. That's a 30 red. Okay, there's 2 wins. And now we're back to where we started. Let's go back to our original $9 bet. And let's start making some money here. And let's go ahead and spin. We're back to 9 streets with $1 on each street. All right, that's an 8 black. That's a win, so we're picking up $3 each time. We're up 3. Let's rebet and spin. Let's see how many wins we can get in a row here before we have another loss. And that's a 33 black. Another win, so now we're up $6, and these are just dollar bets. And I think you're going to be really surprised at how much we can make in 15 minutes with this one with dollar bets. And that's a 32 red. That's another win. We're currently up $9 or 9 units, and let's spin. All right, here we go. That's a 13 black. Another win. Now you can see we're up 12 units. And again, once we have multiple losses, I'll show you what to do when that happens. And that's a 14 red. Excuse me. And that's another $3 win. We're at $15 or 15 units. These are dollar units. So Here we go, and let's see what we get here. That's a 1 red. And that's a loss. Let's go ahead and let's double that bet and spin. And I've had an interesting day today. We're having my 30th high school reunion. Let me know down in the comments if you've had a reunion recently. And we're going to need to get 2 wins here before we reset. And this has been a pretty fun high school reunion. So let me know if you like them or don't like them, or what experiences you've had down in the comments. We're up $18 or 18 units now. Let's drop back to 9. So after we get 2 wins, as long as we're in session profit, we restart. And if you have a lot of losses, I'll show you what to do different here coming up. That's another win, and we're up 21 units. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 7 red. And we're up 24 units. Let's continue to bet at 9 at base level, and here we go. That's a 33 black. That's another win. We're up 27. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. So the first thing that we did, we had a Top Golf for my 30-year reunion, and then we went to play pickleball today. So it's been interesting. We're at 30 units or $30. Let me know also if you play golf or pickleball, and then we're going to have a nice dinner tonight to finish it off. That is a loss there. Let's go ahead and double and spin. And it's great that people come from all over the country to come back to high school reunions. And that's a 1 red. We lost that one, so we're going to go ahead and double and spin. And here we go. That's a 31 black. That's a win. We need to get 2 of them, though. Let's rebet and spin. Then we'll check our balance again with 9th Street Roulette. That's a 2 black. And I just booked another Vegas trip this morning. So now I know I might be back before this, but I did book one more Vegas trip this morning. We just lost again there. I'll share that with you here in a second. Let's go ahead and double again. And that's more losses than what we normally would have, but let's get our 2 wins now and then restart. That's a 22 black. There's one of them, and you can see that we're probably going to need to get 3 wins this time because we've had so many losses. Let's see what we get here. That's a 17. That's a win. Okay, so I think we do need to get, yes we do, we need to get 3 wins. And that happens when you have a bunch of losses that you might need 3 instead of 2. That's a 27. That's another win. Now we're going to restart. We're at $51 or 51 units, and let's go back to $9. Here we go. All the way back down. And almost there. And let's spin. So I learned the rules of pickleball today. That was interesting. A little different than tennis. Had to learn about the kitchen and all these other rules and different ways to serve and all that. I played tennis growing up, and we're at 54 units now, but that was interesting playing pickleball today at the 30th high school reunion and learning all these crazy new rules. But it looks like a fun game, and that's a 0. We lost that one. Let's go ahead and double. And spin. And here we go. That's a 2 black. All right, that's a loss. We're going to go ahead and double again. We're at 36 now instead of 18. Really important to start with small bets and have a good-sized bankroll when you're playing 9th Street Roulette. We'll go over the bankroll here in a minute, but we need to double again because that's another loss, and we're going to go from 36 to 72. And here we go. That's a 23 red. Okay, that's a win. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. Try to get win number 2. Here we go. Then we'll check our balance again. That's a 27 red. That's another win. We're at 39 units. And it looks like we need to get a 3rd win again now. So we had a bunch of losses. Let's get that 3rd win. If not, we'll need to double again. And that's a 19 red. Okay, we got it. So now we're up 63. Let's drop back to 9 again. So again, if you get a bunch of losses, and then a lot of times you need 3 wins instead of 2. There we are back at our original 9 streets. And you can pick whichever 9 streets you want, and you can even move them around if you would like, or take out the one that hit last. That's a good way of doing it as well. We're up 66 units. And let's rebet and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 6 black. Okay, that's a loss. Let's go ahead and double that to 18 and spin. Here we go. So that's a 25 red. That's a win. We're currently up 63. Let's go for win number 2. And I'm going to recommend a $1,000 bankroll with this one, but you can definitely play it with less. That just gives you a lot more protection if you can do that. We're up 69 units. We're going to go back to 9. But there's no question you can play this with a much smaller bankroll like 500. But I would recommend 1,000 if you're going to play for a long period of time. And that's a win. We're currently up 72 units. Let's go ahead and spend. These are dollar units today, and here we go. And the golden split's coming up by John. I can't wait for that one. That's going to be fantastic. We're up 75 units now. Let's go ahead and spin again. And here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, that's a win. We're up 78. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And that's a 12 red. And we're up 81 units. Another thing that was kind of crazy at the high school reunion today, this was the first one where they had like the table of people that are not around anymore, and that was kind of scary. So let me know if you've been to a high school reunion and they have a table with pictures of everyone that's no longer around anymore. That definitely was a weird feeling. Let me know if that's normal or not. It probably is once you get to a 30-year reunion or higher. And we're up 75, but I was surprised how many people aren't around anymore. And that was pretty nuts. So here we go. I'm sure that escalates a lot as you get to 40 or 50-year reunions. And we're up 81 units now. Let's get one more win here and then drop back to 9. All right. Oh, I was talking about Vegas. Okay, I need to tell you more about that. That's 2 wins. I know I just got back from Vegas, but and we're going to go back to 9 now. And I need to let Sonny know this too, because I told him I was going to drop in and see him as well. So I'm planning on December 2nd. I booked flights for December 2nd to December 7th. And we're up 90 units now. Let's go ahead and rebet and spend. So I'll be back at the Circa December 2nd to December 7th. And when I was just there last week, I ran into a lot of people that watched the channel, and that was pretty awesome. We're up 93 units now. Let's rebet and spin. And went to the YouTube convention, the G2E convention at the Venetian, which was awesome. And that's another win. So we're getting close to $100 or 100 units profit. We're up 96. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 25 red. That's another win. We'll take it. We're up 99 units now. Again, rebet and spin. Let's see how many wins we can get in a row here. And that's a 0. So that's definitely a loss. Let's go ahead and double that. Okay, so we need to be... Oh, let me add the 9th one back in. I accidentally subtracted it out there. Now we're at 18. Let's get 2 wins. All right, here we go. That's a 19 red. And that's a win. Let's get 2 of those. So yeah, Sunday I will definitely try to make it over to Benion's to see you there. And I can't wait to get back to Vegas. I might come before December 2nd, but that's one I definitely have in the books. We're up 102 units. Let's go back to 9. And spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 26 black. That is a win. And let's rebet and spin. Here we go. Every time I get home from Vegas, I can't wait to get back, it seems like. But after 4 or 5 days, I'm ready to go home. But then once I get rested up, I'm ready to go right back. It's funny how that works. We're up 108 units now. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 27 red. That's another win. Let's rebet and spin. We're up 111 units now. We're 12 minutes in out of 15 with this one. And I want to give a big shout out to the fantastic casino hosts over at the Fremont and at Circa. You guys are awesome. So really appreciate everything you do for me and all my friends when we get there. And that's a 7 red. And that's a win there. Let's get 2 of those.
No more bets.
All right, here we go. And that's a 26 black. Okay, that's another win. We're up 114 units. Let's drop back to 9. So 9 straight roulettes, doing fantastic as usual. Don't play this on video roulette, though. I don't know if you saw one of my previous episodes of where I let everybody know that video roulette is rigged, and I verified it at the G2E Gaming Center, gaming conference, that is. And let's go ahead and spin here. But automated roulette, where you sit in a circle, was verified as legitimate. So definitely keep that in mind when you're playing. Don't play the ones that look like video games. But you can play one without a live deal, or it needs to be an automated machine where the ball is falling and you're sitting in a circle. Those are legitimate. And that is a win. We're up 99. We need one more win at 36 here. And that's an 18 red. That's another win. We're up 111 units. And that was really cool to get to meet with the guys that build those roulette machines and sell them too. So that was pretty neat. They let me know everything that they tell the casinos when they purchase those and how everything works. So that was pretty neat. We're up 114 units, and let's spin. And for the longest time, I didn't know if video roulette was real or automated roulette was real. So it's nice to have that kind of feedback from the guys that make those machines. And let's go ahead and spin. And if you didn't see that, definitely go back to the episode, the G2E one that is probably 4 or 5 videos back. But we're up 120 units. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 4 black. That is a loss. So we're going to go ahead and double that to 18 and spin. And 9 Street Roulette is doing fantastic again. And but again, just don't play it on video roulette. And you can do live dealer or automated. Let's go for our second win here. And this will be our last spin. All right, here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, we got it. So with 9 Street Roulette, we made 123 units of profit. These are dollar units. And now it is time for the new roulette system of the day. I can't wait to share this one with you. And this is from one of my subscribers, John. And let's go ahead and jump right into this. It's called the Golden Splits. All right, here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Golden Splits by John. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to cover the double, 0, and the 0. And this is a system that you're going to profit off those wins. And I love that. So let's go ahead and start with the bets just as you see them here. That's $4 total, 4 splits covered, and let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. This is the Golden Splits by John, and that's a 19 red. We lost, so we're going to add a couple more splits in here across the top, and then we're going to just go ahead and spin again here. And here we go. Okay, that's an 18 red. That's a nice win, and we're already up $8 or 8 units. These are dollar units. So let's go back to our original $4 bet and spin. And gotta love the 0 double 0 covered. I'm starting to play more and more systems where they're covered, and it's nice when you win on the 0 double 0. So let's go ahead and add 2 more splits in again, and let's go ahead and spin at $6 total. And obviously you can play this with more money, and I'll let you know as we go through how to do that and what the bankroll should be for both. That's a nice $12 win. We're up 16. So we'll start again with the bets you see right here. And let's go ahead and spin again. We're back to our original $4 bet. And that's a 34 red. Okay, and that's a loss. So let's go ahead and add 2 more splits in and spin. This is a $6 bet. And here we go. All right, that's a win. That's a 0. We like to win on the 0. That's a $12 win. We're up $24. So let's go back to our $4 bet and start again. All right, that's an 11 black. And that's a loss. So let's go ahead and add 2 more splits in. And let's add them right there and spin. And here we go. Come on. That's a 3 red. All right, that's a nice $12 win. We're up 32. So for dollar units, that's pretty awesome. Let's go back to the 4 we started with again. And that's a lot of units of profit for just dollar units so far. And that's a 32 red. We lost that one. Let's add 2 splits in, but this time let's add them down at the bottom. And let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. Tried to hit the 0-0 there, but didn't. Okay, we lost that one. Let's add 2 more in again here. And now let's go ahead and double the bet to 16. All right, here we go. That's a 17 black. Okay, we lost that one. So now we're going to add 2 splits in at $2 each. And then we're going to double the bet to 40. All right, here we go. That's a 35 black. Okay, we lost that one, so we're going to go ahead and double that to 80 and spin. And here we go. That's a 28 black. And we lost again. So if we get a bunch of losses like this, we might need to get 2 wins. We'll see when we get there, and I'll show you what to do next. Let's see if we can get a win here first. And there's one. That's a 00. We like that. And that's a $128 win. But we need to get 1 more because we're not in session profit. Here we go. And that's a 29 black. And there's 2 wins. And now we're up 142 units. That's awesome. So let's go back to where we started. And actually, let's clear them out and put them back out again so you can see them. And you don't have to start with these ones. You can start with any that you want. But there need to be 4 splits, including the 0-0. And John is big on the 0-0. And I do think it's awesome when you win on the 0-0 as well. And this is a great system. That's a nice $14 win there. We're up $156 now. Let's just rebet and spin. Here we go. This is doing fantastic. And that's a 14 red. That's a loss. Let's add in 2 more. And let's move them around a little bit now. Here we go. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 21 red. Okay, we lost that one. Let's go ahead and add 2 more in, and then we're going to double from 8 to 16 and spin. And we'll see if we can hit some more zeros, or just any winning numbers would be awesome. That's a 15 black. We lost again. So now we're going to add in 2 $2 splits and then double to 40. But the great thing about starting with dollar units is you have so many chances to win. And the more times you bet, since you're adding numbers in, the better chance you have of winning. And that's a nice win there. We're up 162 units now. And let's start with different ones this time, but you have to start with the 0-0. So let's go ahead and add 1 more in now. Let's go right here and start with 4. All right, here we go. And John says that by using splits, it gives you a lot more options when it comes to betting than using corner bets, and it allows you to use the 0-0. So let's go ahead now and let's add 2 more splits in and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 29 black. That's a nice win. We're up 170 units already. Wow. Let's go back to 4 and let's try those ones again. And here we go. And that's an 18 red. Okay, and that's a loss. Let's go ahead now and we're going to add 2 more in. Not like that though. Here we go. And we're at 6 now. And John said he did want to let everyone know that he developed this system after watching Kentucky White's Moving Corners. And he said that he thought that the splits were just a better way to have more control over your betting. We're up 178 units now. And let's go ahead and spin again and start with $4 where we originally started here. And that's a 27 red. And John just loves covering the 000. And it is, I agree, it is awesome when you win with the 000. Let's add 2 more in here. And spin. And here we go. And that's 11 black. That's a nice win. We're up 186 units, back to 4 again, and spin. And that's awesome, Kentucky White, that you're inspiring other people to create systems that are based on the principles that you've been using, and that's amazing. So let's see, we're adding 2 more in here, and let's spin. And here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a loss, so we're going to add 2 more in and then double. Okay, now we're at $16 total bet. It's nice when we start with dollar bets. We have so many chances to win, and the more numbers you add, the better chance you have of winning. And we're up 196 units now. And let's go back to where we started at 4. And spin, and here we go. And looking forward to that, the final thing for our 30-year high school reunion tonight. We should have a nice dinner and see everybody else that hasn't come so far. And again, let me know down in the comments or email me if if you've been to one recently, or if you want to tell me anything about your high school reunions. That would be awesome. So let's go ahead and add 2 more in and spin.
No more bet.
And also let me know how many, what year you're on, because I think they're a lot of fun, and it's great seeing people that I haven't seen in a lot of years. And let's go ahead now and let's add 2 more in and double. So let's add 2 more splits in. Let's go ahead and double to 16 and spin. And here we go. That's a 13 black. That's a win, and we're up 206 units. Let's go back to 7. I'm sorry, not 7, but 4, and spin again. Here we go, and then we might move those around a little bit, but we're going to stay on the 000, and that's a 1 red. That's a nice win. We're up 220 units. Let's go ahead and spin again, and this is a recommended $1,000 bankroll system, but you could definitely play this with 500, no problem. So that is a loss there. We're going to add 2 more. There's no question you could play this one with 500. Obviously, the more you have, the better chance you'll have of, in case you hit a bad streak. But there's no question this would be a good one with $500. So let's go ahead now and let's add 2 more. And then we're going to double that to 16 and spin. And let's see what we get here. You're always better off starting small and having a huge bankroll. It's just the way roulette is. And the more the merrier. We're up 230. But at the same time, and we're going to reset back to the 4 again here. And we'll do a few different ones this time. And spin. But never gamble with money that you can't afford to lose, though. That's a 29 black. And let's go ahead and add 2 more in. And here we go. And we're at $6 now. Let's go ahead and spin. Let's see what we get here. That's a 14 red. That's a loss. We're going to add 2 more in and double. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, don't want them overlapping like I just did there, though. So watch out for that and spin. It does create a jackpot number, but it definitely affects the way the system works. So that's a 1 red. All right, that's a nice $20 win. We're at 240 units. Let's go back to 4 and spin. We're almost 11 minutes in now. We're doing fantastic with the golden splits by John, and that's a 12 red. Let's go ahead and add 2 more in. And spin at $6. And here we go. That's an 18 red. Okay, that's a loss. Let's add 2 more in and double. Okay, now we're at $16 total bet. That's the great thing, even after a bunch of losses, if you start with $1, the bets aren't that high yet, and we lost again there. So now we're going to add 2 more in, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and once we go to 9, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once we go to 10, we're going to have $2 on each, and then we're going to go from 20 to 40 and spin. And you miscounted that for a second there. That's a 22 black, and that's a loss. Let's go ahead and double that again and spin. And again, if you lose a bunch of them at this level, you might have to get 3 wins. I'm sorry, 2 wins. What am I saying? So, but not in this case. We're up 238. But if you lose a bunch of those, you might need 2 wins instead of 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and restart. Again, the 0 double 0 is always there. We always bet on that. If I can place the bet again, here we go. Okay, and we'll go with that 4 right there to start. We're 12.5 minutes in out of 15 with the Golden Splits by John. And that's a 35 black. We missed that one. Let's add 2 more in. And here we go. $6 total bet now, and you can keep moving them around. And here we go. That's a 20 black, and that's definitely a win. So we're up 246 units now. Let's start with 4 different ones here. And changed one of them at least. Let's see what we get here. That's an 11 black. All right, that's a nice win. We're up 260 units now. Let's rebet and spend, and if we get another win, we'll mix those up a little bit, but we'll leave the 0 double 0 on there. That's a 15 black. That's a loss, so let's add 2 more in. Now we have that $6 bet again, and here we go. We got about a minute and a half left here, and this is doing fantastic. That's a 32 red. That's a nice win. Now we're up 268 units. Back to 4 where we started again. And here we go. All right. It's nice to win with the 0, isn't it? It's another $14 win. We're up $282 units. Let's move those around again. And let's start with those 4 right there. And spin. I'm sensing a high number, but we'll see. That's a 36 red. Oh, I was close, but didn't get it. So let's add 2 more in. And here we go. And it's a $6 total bet. Let's keep them moving around. That's a 35 black. Ooh, that was close too. We didn't get it though. So we're going to add 2 more in. And double the bet to 16. And spin. And again, John says that by using splits, he thinks it gives him a lot more, more moving around of bets where he wants them. And he says with the 0 double 0, you can't do those with corner bets. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to add 2 more in at $2 each. And then we're going to double from 20 to 40. And this is the great thing about this system, is that it keeps adding more numbers. And the more that it does that, the better chance you have to win. Although we lost that one, so let's just go ahead and double again here. And again, sometimes if you get a bunch of losses here, you might have to get 2 wins. But if we get one early, like right now, we're ready to reset. But we lost again, and this is why we have that $1,000 bankroll. We're at 160 here, and that's why, even though I said you could easily do this with 500,000 would definitely be better. But we got the win there, and we're up 264. And anytime you're up a lot, even if you're not completely in session profit, if the bets are high like this, you definitely want to restart. So actually, we just ran out of time too, right as we hit that. So we made 264 units. Those are dollar units. 264 units of profit in 15 minutes with the Golden Splits by John. And thank you so much for sending this in. And thank you, Kentucky White, for inspiring him to create this one. And you guys are awesome. Everybody keep sending the systems in to roulettemaster.c at gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c at gmail.com. I pick a new one every single day of the week, 365 days of the year. You guys keep it going strong in the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And I can't wait to tell you more about my 30th high school reunion tomorrow. and should be a lot more fun tonight. And can't wait for that Vegas trip that I just booked for December 2nd through the 7th. Hopefully I'll run into a bunch of you there again this week or that week. And you guys just keep it going strong. I really appreciate all the support. And I love looking for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And it's a lot of fun. If you're enjoying it like I am, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this great community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everybody.